Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you, probably about an hour after full time here at the Emirates. It's finished Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2, as I'm sure you're aware, and that only tells half the story. Really dramatic afternoon here at the Emirates. Arsenal, real sense of injustice at how they've managed to lose this game. It was a game for 60 minutes, they absolutely dominated, were 1-0 up, well on top, playing fantastic football, were all over Manchester City. And then 3 mad minutes, really, where it's tough to even sum up exactly what's happened. City get a penalty, it wasn't even given as a penalty, then VAR overturned it, Mahrez scores the penalty, Gabriel gets booked in the protest. From the kickoff, Nathan Ake almost, no, it was someone else, I think it was Rodri or someone, nearly scored an own goal. Ake cleared it off the line, Martinelli misses the open goal on the follow-up. Then from the goal kick, Gabriel gets the second yellow card. In the space of 180 seconds, this all happened. It was just the Premier League at its maddest, dramatic, absorbing best, if you will. But Arsenal, real sense of injustice at how they've managed to lose this game. Rodri then goes and gets the winner in injury time after Arsenal had actually held out really well with 10 men for nearly half an hour against the City side who were well off the pace. I mean, Arsenal were very, very good, but City was certainly off the pace. But this was, Arsenal can take an awful lot of performance. It's going to take some time for them to get over this. I think certainly a couple of days, because from the players, from the reaction, you could see they just feel like they've been robbed out of at least 1 point here, let alone 3. And we've just been speaking out of Stevenberg, who's obviously been in charge today because Mikel Arteta's at home isolating, and he certainly has a sense. He said, look, I'm upset we didn't end up with 3 points in this game. This is the most frustrating part. At the same time, we were proud of the performance of the players. There are some moments that decided the game. The moment with Odegaard, I think it's a clear penalty, but at least a moment for the referee to have to check the monitor. It happened in the second half with their penalty, which is not really consistent, and then of course the sending off, which is an important moment after that. What he's talking about there, we saw it in the first half. I think it was still 0-0 when Odegaard went down. He got tripped by Ederson. Referee gave no penalty, and VAR decided not to send him to have a look at it. And when you compare the incidents and you look at them, and I've been sitting here watching them now, and they've been showing them over and over again on the screen in front of me, all sorts of different angles, and you look at it and you just think, how have they managed, or how have they decided to send him over to look at the screen for the Xhaka one and not the Odegaard one? And personally, I'm not sure either were penalties. I think I'm not sure you can definitely prove that Ederson didn't get a touch on the ball when he went in on Odegaard. But yeah, the more you look at the Xhaka one, you just think there's absolutely nothing in it. Bernardo Silva just throws himself over. Yeah, Xhaka has a bit of a tug on his shirt, but that's while he's falling over. He's just thrown himself to the floor as he gone past him. To give a penalty for that, I just don't see it. I really don't see it. And like I said, I thought the first one, the on-field decision was key on that one. I think the referee certainly doesn't overturn that if he goes and has a look. If he gives it, and VAR wouldn't overturn that decision. But so I think the on-field decision was key on that one, and you can't quite tell. When you look at the replays, loads and loads of times, some angles it looks like Ederson gets the ball, other angles it looks like Odegaard got there first. So I'm not going to sit here and complain too much that that penalty wasn't given, but the fact that the second one was, I just don't understand it. And I think it's the inconsistency. Aaron Ramsdale's had a go afterwards. Stevenberg as well says it there. It's the inconsistency that really frustrates players, and it's proved to be such a decisive moment in this game, as was the sending off. Gabriel, I can't really. It was stupid. He got sent off. He got a yellow card initially for complaining to the ref after the penalty decision, because they showed it on the big screens up here, and you could see the reaction of Xhaka and Gabriel. They were incensed when they saw it on the TV, and there was a few saying that he was booked for scuffing the penalty spot, but I don't think that was the case, because the yellow card happened after the goal had been scored and they were running back to the centre circle, and it was when Gabriel ran up and complained to Stuart Atwell. And Stevenberg talking was asked about that, was it because he scuffed the penalty spot? And he said, it's not what the players are telling me, it was that he made a remark to the referee. The other players confirmed that it's just a normal comment, and he was shown the yellow card. He gave yellow cards, and you have to control your emotions a little bit better. And I think certainly after having that yellow card, for whatever reason it was, having been booked, you've got to control yourself a little bit, and he just got himself sent off stupidly for a second yellow just a few seconds after that. But I think actually the key moment, I haven't even talked about it, was just after they made it 1-1, Nathan Ake clears off the line. I think it was Rodri. It was going to be an own goal. He headed it over Ederson, and then just an open goal for Gabby Martinelli on the follow-up, and he put it wide. Yes, Stuart Atwell stupidly, somehow, inexplicably ran in his way. in the build-up to it, but even that doesn't excuse a miss. Martinelli's got to be scoring that. And so that was such a key moment, because had that gone in, it's 2-1 straight away. All the frustrations of the penalty goes out the window. The red card doesn't happen. It was such a massive moment, that one. And unfortunately, Martinelli didn't put it away. And Martinelli played so well, as did Arsenal. And like I said, I think that when the sort of dust settles from this one after a couple of days, they'll look back on it and think this was a really solid, good performance. You know, Arsenal, we've seen time and time again go into their shell against Manchester City, get beaten before the game's even started. We see it against Liverpool as well. And you know, it was anything but that today. They were on it from the start. Thomas Partey, arguably, I mean, this is up there with his performance at Old Trafford soon after he joined. You know, he was monstrous in midfield, Thomas Partey. Really superb performance. Tomiyasu, again, excellent. Didn't give Sterling a kick. And Martinelli and Saka, especially in that first half, just Manchester City just could not handle them. And so, like I said, there's an awful lot for Arsenal to take from this. But ultimately, they end up empty-handed, get no points. And I mean, by the time I'm recording this, I'm just looking up Tottenham and 0-0 at the moment at Watford, just coming up to half-time there. And they've got games in hand, Man City got games in hand, so you'd think Arsenal are going to lose ground a little bit in the race for the top four, despite they're still going to end this weekend fourth, but because of those games in hand, they could end up losing ground, which is frustrating. But again, I still think there's an awful lot to take from this performance. You could see the reaction of the fans at full time. You know, they cheered the players off the pitch. They could see what effort they put into this one, and it was a really good performance. And it's hard not to see these types of performances and not come to the conclusion that Arsenal are really growing. You know, they really are. They're beginning to look like a proper team now, and that's really, really encouraging after the start to the season that they had, and that's what you got to take from this. And so ultimately 2-1 defeat, but plenty to take from Arsenal. And now it's time for some player ratings. Normally when Arsenal lose, the player ratings are going to be pretty low, but I've got to say today they're going to be pretty high, because almost all of them put in one hell of a shift. They really were excellent. Aaron Ramsdale didn't really have anything to do. I mean, I'm looking at it, Man City had 2 shots on target, they scored 2 goals, the penalty, and then that last minute from Rodri, close range, where he sort of scrambled it in. Other than that, he didn't really have much to do. He made a couple of good claims. There was one instant in the first half where he got caught in no man's land a little bit. Unfortunately, Rodri's header went wide. Had it been on target, you know, Ramsdale would have been nowhere. So I'll give Ramsdale a 6, just because he didn't have that much to do. Tomiyasu, I thought, was absolutely brilliant. Again, superb performance from him. What a signing he's been. He's going to get an 8. Ben White, I thought, excellent. He's going to get a 7 for me. Gabriel was excellent until the red card. I mean, whatever he was booked for in the first one, the second one, you've got to be smarter than that and not go ploughing into the back of Gabriel Jesus just after you've got a yellow card. So I'm going to give Gabriel a 6. Kieran Tierney, I thought, was very, very good. He gets a 7. Midfield, Thomas Partey has to get a 9. He was, like I said, I think this was Thomas Partey's best performance. It's certainly right up there with the Manchester United performance. Most tackles was him, most possession gain was him, and just a really good performance. It's just sod's law that he's going to head off to AFCON now, because he's beginning to really find his best form again. So that's frustrating for Arsenal, but really good, solid performance. He's my man of the match today, Thomas Partey. He gets a 9. Granit Xhaka, I know people are going to criticise him for the penalty, but I don't think it was a penalty. I really don't. It was another Xhaka moment, I suppose you could say, but I still don't think it was a penalty. I'm going to give Xhaka, I thought he played, for the rest of the game, I thought he played really, really well. I'm going to give him an 8. Bukayo Saka, first off, absolutely electric. I mean, he tore Nathan Ake to shreds. Brilliant goal, great finish. 6 Premier League goals now, I think, for Saka. It's fair play to him. Gives Saka an 8. Odegaard, I thought, was great as well. He gets an 8. Martinelli gets an 8. All 3 of those, again, behind Lacazette. They're just playing so well at the moment. Interchanging, real fluidity about them. Their work rate is just off the charts. Really good from all 3 of them. So Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli all get an 8. Lacazette, I'm going to give a 7. Didn't really get sniffed in front of goal, Lacazette, but he still worked as hard as we've seen him working in a long time. So he gets a 7 for me. In terms of the subs, Smith Rowe came on, Rob Holding came on after the red card, and Elneny came on right at the end, last few minutes. And yeah, I mean, I'm just watching the Rodri goal now on the screen in front of me. It's still so frustrating. It could have gone anywhere. You know, the ball over the block, Holding's header sort of glanced off his head. It just fell. The good block from Ben White to deny. I'm not sure who it was. Just trying to see who it was whose shot. I can't see. There's a good block by Ben White and it just falls to Rodri, and it's just the way the luck goes, doesn't it? And Arsenal really didn't have any luck today, and that is frustrating. But as I said, I think they can take an awful lot from this performance, because for large chunks of this game they didn't just go toe-to-toe with Manchester City, they outplayed them, and you know, it's been a long time since we've been able to say that. So all in all, just an afternoon of mixed emotions here at the Emirates, but it's finished Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2. Thanks for watching.